So my dishwater is ready. Let's go over here to the ingredients. I will be using 80/20 ground beef, salt, black pepper, onion powder, olive oil, Worcestershire sauce. Okay, however you say it. This sauce. Kidney beans, 2 cans, 1 light, 1 dark red. And then we have no salt added diced tomatoes, 2 cans of those, a can of tomato paste, 2 chili seasoning packs, 2 Sazon Goya seasoning packs. We got our onions and our bell peppers right here. And then we have our Jiffy corn muffin mix because we're not doing homemade cornbread today. All right. And let me not forget, we are going to use garlic powder as well as dark brown sugar and unsalted beef broth. Okay, so I got my 80/20 ground beef cooking. It is on high, and the only reason why I have it on high is because I want the bottom of the ground beef to be crusted, because I just like a little bit of crunch in my chili. So we're going to let this just sit, do not touch it, and cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. And then after that, we are going to chop it up and then drain it. So we are going to continue to cook this meat on high until it's well done. We're going to get all of this pink out. And this is 80/20 ground beef. So when you're working with 80/20 ground beef, you got to make sure you strain all of this grease out. Okay? So please do not forget that step. Strain all of the grease when you're done cooking your ground beef. All right, so this ground beef is just about done. We don't want to cook it too much right now because it's going to cook some more at the end when we add the seasonings and the sauces. Okay? And I emphasize that we strain this ground beef really good because it's 80/20 ground beef, and 80/20 ground beef contains a lot of fat. We don't want that grease fat to get inside of our bodies and clog some stuff up. So we're going to make sure we strain this real good, and then we are going to get to them bell peppers. Okay, so with that same pot that we cooked the ground beef in, we are going to cook our veggies. I put 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the pot, and then I'm going to cook the veggies on medium until they become translucent. Okay, so my veggies are cooking. I'm going to let them do their thing. And I didn't cut my veggies a specific way. I just did a quick rough chop. You can cut your veggies however you want to. If you want them diced, if you want them sliced, whichever way you prefer, you can do that. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave them alone and let them become translucent. In this pot, I have 1 tablespoon of olive oil, tomato paste, and my green bell peppers and onions. I am cooking it on medium, and I used half of this 12-ounce can of tomato paste. I just added my strained ground beef into my bell pepper, onions, and tomato paste mixture. And I'm going to mix the ground beef into this mixture really good before I add my seasonings. I just added my diced tomatoes. I'm going to do 1 can at a time. I'm going to mix this in, and then if I have to add the other can, I will. Okay, y'all, so I just added the 2nd can of unsalted diced tomatoes. I am going to mix this into the meat, and then I'll be back to show y'all how I'm going to mix the seasonings in. My God. So I just added the 1 pack of seasoning mix, and I haven't even mixed it in yet, and the chili is already smelling good. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the seasoning in, and then taste it to see if I need to add the 2nd pack. Okay, y'all, so I just decided to add the 2nd pack of the chili seasoning because I just needed a little bit more flavor. All right, so up next, we are going to add a few dashes of the Worcestershire sauce. All right, I'm going to taste it to see if I need to add it a little bit more of Worcestershire sauce. And the reason why I add this is because it gives the chili more flavor, okay? We all love that flavor, right? Okay, I just tasted the meat and I felt that I needed more Worcestershire sauce. So make sure that you taste your meat before you start adding more of the Worcestershire sauce. because the first few dashes may be enough. And also make sure that you wash your fork off in between tasting, because double dipping is nasty when you're feeding everybody else in the house, okay? So yeah, just add as much as you need, and yeah. Okay, so I just added my 2 packs of Sazon seasoning. Make sure that you taste your meat once again. Like, don't just start adding stuff, you know, just taste it with 1 pack to see if that's enough Sazon for you. And then if you need to add the 2nd pack, go ahead. All right, so I added 1 tablespoon of salt. I am going to add 1 tablespoon of black pepper. 1 tablespoon of onion powder. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Okay, now I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And then I'm going to mix it and taste it to see if I need more. And this is dark brown sugar. Add 1 more tablespoon of brown sugar. And what brown sugar does is complement the spices, and it also helps thicken the chili, because the brown sugar is less likely to dissolve in liquids. So it's good to add brown sugar in certain dishes, especially chili. Okay, so I just decided to add 1 more tablespoon of garlic powder. And just to let y'all know, I still have the heat on medium. We are going to add our dark red kidney beans and our light red kidney beans. Make sure that you drain and rinse your kidney beans off before you use them, because you don't want all of that bean juice in there. Okay, so I am going to add in my beef broth, and I am going to use 5 cups of this beef broth. And after I put this beef broth in, we are going to stir it into the chili mixture. At this point, if you want to throw your chili in a crock pot, you can cook your chili down in the crock pot on low for 5 to 6 hours. But if you are using a stovetop like I am, you can cook your chili down on medium low for 2 to 3 hours. You want to cook your chili long enough at a low heat so that your meat can get tender and your beans could get tender, especially when you are using dark red beans, because dark red beans tend to be a little bit more firmer than light red beans. For a thick chili, you want to cook your chili uncovered for those 2 to 3 hours. But for a more soup consistency chili, you want to cook your chili covered for those 2 to 3 hours. Don't you